What's going on, guys? Welcome to What's in the Bag Son, which is usually a monthly, but sometimes bi-monthly, or way more than that in this case, video series where I just show basically what I've gotten throughout the months. And this video, especially for being since August, I haven't gotten much in retrospect. I stopped buying a lot closer to 31 Days of Horror, so I'm not going to be having a shit ton to show this time, although there's quite a few, but not as many as other videos. Also, another reason for that is because I'm not showing anything I reviewed for 31 Days of Horror because the list is already all on YouTube, so you can go check out that review series from October 1st to 31st. I reviewed 31 Days of Horror movies. Most of the stuff I got in November anyway. Some titles here and there I got through August and September, but they're non-horror related, and as you guys will soon see. So, I'll start off with some DVDs. Again, some of these, like this first one, I've already reviewed on the channel as well, so you can go and check out the full thoughts on it. But the first one up is A Simple Plan. Now, this is one that I had not heard of until very recently, ever, and was directed by Sam Raimi, which even when I bought it, I didn't even know that. I just bought it for the cast, mainly, and the trailer kind of intrigued me, and it was really, really well done. This is more of like a quiet thriller, and it's very tense, especially in certain moments of the movie. I had a really, really good time with this one. I think I give it a 4.5 stars. Billy Bob Thornton kills it. Bill Paxton also kills it as well in his role. And there's three guys mainly. The other guy, I think his name is... oh, shoot, it's not even... I can't even find it right now. But, yeah, three main guys. He's not even on the front cover. But all the acting is good all around is basically what I'm saying. And it's a really tense thriller that really keeps you hooked on the screen. Like, you'll want to put your phone down for this one for sure, but I'm sure people will be putting the phone downs anyway because of how gripping the story is and the plot is. So really recommend A Simple Plan. This is another one that I hadn't heard of. I don't know, like, maybe I've seen the title here and there, but I certainly didn't know anything about the plot. This is an Australian film, and I found this for $2, so I couldn't pass this up. This is The Horseman. Also has a review on the channel, so you can get a little bit more of my thoughts there. This is one hell of a bleak film. This is very violent. It's a revenge film, so you're expected to get a lot of violence in it anyways. But it's basically about this guy taking vengeance on everybody who wronged his daughter and ended up being responsible for her death. And her kind of vicious death as well, giving all the circumstances that went around it and such. Very, very violent scenes and brutal scenes, mostly, you know, through fists and melee weapons. Like, you don't get a lot of shootouts in this. This is just like mano a mano, one person beating the living fuck out of the other person kind of thing. It's really raw, it's really extreme, really well done film, and yeah, hard to watch, but really entertaining at the same time. This is one I caught on Tubi a few months back, and I found it for a great price. I think it was $5 on this one, maybe $3. This is a Danny Trejo film. It's basically a B-movie action movie. B-grade action movie, you could say, and it's fun. I mean, it's mindless. You turn your brain off, you watch an hour and a half-ish action movie. It's nothing to, you know, put in your top 10 or anything like that, but it does what it sets out to do, and you can definitely watch much worse B-grade action films, in my opinion. So, and Danny Trejo is always the man. Whatever he shows up in, he's the man. Even if the movie sucks, or even if you know, the script isn't the greatest, or the production value isn't the greatest, Danny Trejo is always worth seeing, in my opinion. This one, another one that I'd never heard of. Honestly, again, I found this was another $3, and it has a review on the channel as well. And I just bought it for shits and giggles. It looked like one hell of a B-movie, or a B-action movie, and it seriously is a B-action movie. You got poor man's Tom Hardy in here. The CGI and special effects are atrocious, but somehow that's what ends up giving the film its charm. So if you have, you know, some time to kill, or if you have a group of friends around and you just want to laugh at some action, Kill Ratio is that kind of movie. I've seen worse. It's certainly not boring. It has its over-the-top scenes. I mean, there's a sword fight in it that happens out of nowhere in the middle of a hotel. Like, it's that kind of movie. It's hilarious. This is something I actually am glad I came around. This is a 3-pack, so 3 movies in 1 DVD, and it's shark movies. And this came with Five-Headed Shark Attack, as well as these 2 that I'd never heard of, Planet of the Sharks and Empire of the Sharks. I have not seen either yet at all. And I hadn't seen Five-Headed Shark Attack until I bought this. It was a riot of a good time. I mean, it was like atrocious, as any of these, you know, C-grade, I can't even call them B-grade shark movies are, but my gosh, I mean, those headed shark films are just an experience. I don't know why they skipped 4 and went straight to 5, because they have 2-headed, 3-headed, 5-headed, and 6-headed. But I don't ask any questions when it comes to these movies. I just enjoy them for what they are, and they just are exactly what they are. And Five-Headed Shark Attack is no different. It's bonkers. The decision making on how that shark gets its 5 heads is bananas. Okay, it's just fucked. But it's funny. It's hilarious. They're made as drinking movies. I can't imagine any other reason why. Like, you have a few beers or you take a few tokes and you just laugh at these movies with friends. And the synopsis of Planet and Empire sound like Sharknado level of stupid, but they still, I'm sure, will be at least entertaining, at the very least. I really hope they're not boring. This is a movie I discovered last year around Christmas time, and I didn't have time to review it then, but I certainly will be reviewing it now, and I look forward to it. I actually got in contact with the director, who gave him the heads up that I wanted to be reviewing his film, and this is Secret Santa. This was produced and filmed in my hometown of Cambridge, Ontario, and I love, you know, B-movie slashers. I love throwback slashers, so this one caught my eye last year. I discovered it on somebody else's channel, and one of my favorite channels, actually. And I just was inspired to watch it and review it myself, so I waited till this year because I obviously want to review it around Christmas, and like I said, last year didn't have time, so I gave this one watch. I'm going to be watching it one more time before reviewing, but this is a high recommendation if you like B-movie throwback slashers to like 70s and 80s tropes. And it's really entertaining. Like, it's released from Wild Eye, and Wild Eye always makes me a little weary because they have some terrible releases, and then they have like a few great ones here and there, and this one falls in one of the great ones. So I was really impressed with this, really had a great time with it, and can't wait to give my full thoughts on it. So, getting into some Blu-rays. This one I have not seen yet, so I don't really know what to expect. This is Ninja Assassin. I got this for $3 with the slipcover, so I'm not going to let that go. And I love my martial arts films, my wuxia films. Especially, this one looks a little bit more like kind of suburban action style, like more modern. This doesn't look like it takes place in any olden times or anything like that. This looks super like modern Hong Kong, or I think it's a Chinese film. Well, maybe Chinese American, I'm not sure, but it looks cool. It sold me from the art, and it sold me from the title, and can't wait to give it a shot. Looks pretty awesome. Now, this is a Hong Kong film, fully subtitled. This is Shockwave, and I watched this as well on Tubi. I love foreign cinema and Asian cinema in general, all kinds, action, horror. They do such a good job they have such a great film industry. And this is one from Hong Kong about basically a bomb that gets placed in a tunnel somewhere in Hong Kong, and it's like a cop versus baddies kind of film in a tunnel. So think Daylight, but Hong Kong style, and with more the Raid kind of style action going on. Really entertaining, fast-paced, thrilling. This movie, like, gets going real quick, doesn't miss a beat when it comes to the action, and just throws you in there real fast. So no waiting time in this time and no lagging time for all of those who don't like your slower films. You're gonna have to read, so get over that, and I suggest you read because I am not a dubs person and I am not going to recommend dubs any day. So read your films if you can't understand them. Next up, another one I caught on Tubi and really enjoyed. I'm always a Bruce Willis fan. Again, no matter what he's in, he always delivers. This is The Prince. This also has John Cusack in it. And, I mean, its plot, I'm not gonna lie, a little bit on the dumb side, but definitely high up on the entertaining side. I think Bruce Willis does a great job in this. John Cusack does there's certain performances where, like, he's really try hard in it, and he's like over the top. That's what I'm looking for, and this is definitely one of them. It's an over the top John Cusack performance if you know John Cusack's typical stuff. But it is a lot of fun. It's a B movie and looks fine on Blu-ray. Yeah, good. I've definitely seen Bruce Willis in a lot worse than that. So The Prince is a recommendation from me. I'll show these off at the same time since they are kind of similar. We got 2012 and then we got 2012 Ice Age, the ripoff. This is an asylum film. This is exactly what you expect it to be, a knockoff of a mainstream blockbuster. But this is the John Cusack one. This is the one that was released. I thought it was released closer to 2012, but yeah, this is a 2009 film, maybe 2010. When it came out on video, I mean. But, I mean, it's Roland Emmerich. He's a hit and miss. I was not a fan of his latest film, Moonfall. But then when it comes to, like, Independence Day, it's one of the best blockbuster action movies I've ever seen. So, 2012 is good stuff. I mean, it's a disaster movie with its tropes. It's got its, it checks every box. And if you like disaster movies, this is one of the more unrealistic, like far-fetched ones you could possibly get. I mean, realistically, nobody is surviving anything that happens in this friggin' film, but entertainment-wise, and if you like shit blowing up, the CGI also not that great. Especially for the time it came out. I mean, they definitely held back on what they could do with special effects, but again, if you're turning your brain off and if you're just enjoying the spectacle, it's really not that bad of a film. And then obviously 2012 Ice Age, for an asylum film, is actually pretty impressive. So this one kind of downscales a bit for the kind of movie that it is. This one upscales a bit for the kind of movie that it is, because Asylum is known for the worst CGI, TV movies, essentially. That's what they are. And, this one's, it's entertaining, man. There's some heart in this film. There's some heart in this film, and again, it's a spectacle of bad CGI, so worse than 2012, obviously, but for an asylum film, it entertained me, so if a movie entertains me, I've said it before, that's all I really need, right? And finishing off with some more Blu-rays, I plan to review this one as well, maybe for a bad movie aficionado. Max Payne. I've heard nothing but bad things about this. I've seen clips, but I've never seen this film in its entirety, I can't say. And from clips, I've seen like YouTube videos here and there, like action scenes of this movie. And I just heard like terrible reviews of it, and just the fact that this movie isn't very good. So I need to check it out still. I need to judge this one for myself, and there's probably a review coming for it to give my full thoughts on it. This is a film that on paper is horrendous. I don't necessarily disagree with anybody who says this film is horrendous. This is a sequel to a beloved fan film, but this one, the only reason I love this film is because of nostalgia. That's it. I can see why this film is horrible in every way, but I can't give it a bad praise, or I can't say it's one of the worst films I've ever seen because of the nostalgia it holds, even more than the first one. That is Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Yes, I know this is terribly horrible, especially in the scenes where you can see the green screen in the background. And what did this film get, I think? Like, budget-wise, $10 million? That's ridiculous. I mean, it just makes no sense. But on a nostalgic factor, I watched this one when I was a little kid, actually way more than I watched the first one. I had this one on repeat so much, and as a little like 7-year-old kid, obviously this was like candy to me. And then I watched it as an adult. I'm like, holy fuck, this is so horrible. But at the same time, I recall all these scenes and all these action scenes, and everything just starts coming back to me, and I have to have a good time with it because it just reminds me of my childhood. So Mortal Kombat Annihilation is just one of those films where I can acknowledge how bad it is, but I can't help loving it at the same time. And yes, obviously I love the first one as well. Better than that, but yeah, you know what I'm saying, I hope. I reviewed this one recently, very recently actually. This is Everything Must Go. When I watched this for the first time, it hit my heart because of Will Ferrell's dramatic performance in it. It's mostly drama. It's got some comedy sprinkled in it as well, but the performance is heart-wrenching. It's a cute movie. It's a personal movie for sure. Like it feels every day, just like all independent cinema does. I love independent cinema for that reason, and it's a really good, underrated, in my opinion, indie film. It's great. Dan Rush, who directed some Lamb of God videos, directed this. This is his debut. He hasn't really directed anything else, maybe one more that I forget the title of, but this is definitely his first film. And anything he's done before that, it was music videos for a metal band, so kind of random to follow up with this, but it's good. It's good. I don't know how much of the director's personal life is in this film, but the characters are all fantastic, and you know, it doesn't overstay its welcome. The cinematography is nice. There's touching moments. There's moments, like I said, that feel real, and the subject matter in it is very. They took a subject matter that can be done very cheesy, very non-realistic, tropey, kind of not understanding the subject matter well enough to write a script on it and portray it accurately enough. But this is the film that does everything opposite of that. Nails the subject matter, portrays it perfectly, all of that good stuff. So it's a heavy recommendation. And lastly, this is, I saved this one for last because this is a bigger release. This is True Romance from Arrow Video. I ended up getting the 4K and Blu-ray combo pack because I'm a noob and don't have a 4K player yet or a 4K TV. I know, tragedy. But yeah, it comes with a bunch of like lobby cards, a sticker, I guess I should put that up, and yeah, the Blu-ray and the 4K. And nice little steel book with the. I love the limited edition hardcovers that Arrow puts out. The way they did for Hills Have Eyes and Last House on the Left and all that. They do a ton. I need to get the Tremors one. I don't have the Tremors one yet. But yeah, they're just so worth it because they all come with like a fairly detailed book and a poster along with the film, and just having like the hard box alone just makes it that much more collector's worthy. So I like it, and I love True Romance. It's one of those 90s staples of like crime, written by Tarantino, so you get the Tarantino flair in this movie, but it's directed by somebody else, and Tony Scott, there you go. Tony Scott directed it. But staples 90s kind of grindhouse inspired crime movie along the lines of like anything by Tarantino, really, anything by Robert Rodriguez. There was a film, Pulp Fiction, that's a good, by Tarantino, like I said. There was a movie I was thinking of, I'm like, this kind of feels like that, and I forgot the name of it, but it's Pulp Fiction, which is directed by Tarantino. So you got the You're So Cool napkin, which is a favorite, or famous moment in True Romance, as everybody who's seen it knows. And a crazy performance by Christopher Walken. He kills it, and he's funny, he's evil, he's just everything wrapped into one character. It's great. And I really liked seeing Patricia Arquette in here too. Funny enough, the first role that I've really seen her in was Boyhood. and Boyhood is one of my favorite films of all time. But I only started watching her other movies and seeing her pop up in other movies after Boyhood. Kind of strange, but because I obviously seen this after Boyhood, but seeing her in here in a over-the-top kind of, I don't know how to describe her role necessarily in here, but very interesting, very unique for Patricia Arquette. I would say, and just very unique in general. But that's the stack of films that I got for this What's in the Bag Son. Hope you all enjoyed looking through those, and the ones that I did review that I mentioned are on the channel already, and look out for the reviews that are coming on some of them as well. And subscribe to Morgan Film Fan if you'd like to listen to my voice or if you like my film reviews. I'll be back with more. Check out what's on the channel already and stay tuned for what's coming. And until next review, have a good one. Take care and cheers.